This is fine. Okay, here I wouldn't go here.
Yeah,
How do we
kind of.
know?
I don't entirely know, but when I watched the replay, I also thought I was kind of stupid for doing that. But
Okay.
I couldn't tell you why. I just kind of thought
No, that's fine.
I don't know how.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you're just in the moment, and sometimes you might just go. Happens to everyone, right? Does that part
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really matter. But what should we? Okay, what should we have done instead then?
Probably the better play is to maybe wait on his first touch, see what he's actually going to do, and then turn back to the left. Or I guess it would be it'd
So
be the
like, you
right towards
mean
the net.
like this way?
No, no, other way.
Okay. Yeah. So
So
here, okay, and
and
this is correct. So you're saying basically do something like this, like something like this.
yes, and if he tried to hit the backboard or if he tried to air dribble or something, I'm in a perfect spot
Yeah.
to just jump off the wall and 50 him.
Perfect. But how do we know this is the correct decision to make? What signs do we look out for to know that what you just said is correct?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
All right, it's quite simple. If you look at him, the book
Yeah.
guy, right? If you look at his mate,
Yeah.
when you see this, you kind of you have to process the information, and that's how you get the decision that you're going to end up coming up with, right? When he's going for this ball here, his mate is going back for boost. He needs boost because the kickoff just happened, so everyone's low on boost technically, right? So when he's going back for boost and he's going to hit this ball, it means that him going for this ball up here and hitting the ball, it's almost a 95% chance that no matter what he does with the touch here, his mate will never be able to get to the second ball because he's just too far. So by this, it means that the opponent going for this ball here, it means this is classed as no danger. There's no threat, there's nothing, because his teammate isn't in the play, and there's no threat from this angle unless he does something absolutely crazy. But then your backboard just to make sure he doesn't do anything crazy, right? So what you do here is like, okay, your mate is far away, so I don't have to worry about your mate coming and trying to hit like a second ball shot or whatever, right? All I have to do is focus on you. Can you hit a good shot from this angle? No. So I'm not going to risk anything. I'm just going to chill on this wall. Oops, wrong way. I'm going to chill on this wall. Okay, you hit it down, and then you're just kind of in this position and the play continues, right?
Yeah.
So that's generally what I would say. But when you commit like this, obviously now you've wasted a little bit of boost. You're still hanging down. If your mate now gets bumped or demoed or something crazy just happens to him, then obviously now he gets the shot on target, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but
I just
maybe
put my
not.
teammate in a horrible spot, honestly.
Yeah, and it wasn't needed because there was no threat. And sometimes, a lot of the times, one of the biggest ways to rank up in Rocket League in terms of your decision making is just assessing is this a threat? Like, am I being threatened, or can something threaten my net right now? And if the answer is yes, obviously deal with it. And if it's not, then you don't have to. Positioning here, I think it's okay. So maybe just a bit more like this, I would say. Not directly behind like this, because
a little more off to the side.
Yeah. And how do we know this? That we should be a bit more center?
Well, teammates behind the ball, so it's not going to just 50 straight back. It's going to 50 out left or out right. Probably out left based on where his car is, looking at it now.
Yeah, but not just his car, though. Right? Who else?
Oh, other guys also coming from the other side of the ball. I didn't...
yeah. So the way we know this
genuinely just didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, so the way we know this is because because both cars are towards the right side of the field, if an oncoming challenge happens, the ball is likely going to spill towards the left, right? Especially because your mate is going to gather the ball. Like, it's like a lot of micro things you need to notice, right? For your mate to control this car and place the ball on target, he naturally needs to be on the right side of the ball, because that's the direction that he needs to head towards, like here, right? So look, see what I mean? He has to be on the right side of the ball. That's the only way he can get this ball towards the net, right? And knowing this, that he has to cover the right side of the ball, and knowing that the opponents are also on the right side, then you know that trying to look into the future, that if a challenge was to happen and he's covering the right side and they're on the right side, it means that the ball is going to get pushed to the left. So you preemptively position here. So that when it gets pushed to the left, you're here. Do you see that?
Yep, I can just run over and...
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Do your thing, right? Let me see. I think with this rotation, it feels like you cut off your mate a little bit. In the end,
Oh,
it's okay. I'm trying to think because I'm trying to also stick to what I would have naturally done. So here, this is fine. I think the moment I missed this, I would have rotated like this
Okay,
and
I gotcha.
let your mate with boost be the one to go here. I think the reason is because no one is going up in the air. There's no one challenging in the air. Like for
Mhm.
example, he goes up, right? Your mate gets the
Yeah,
boost, meaning your mate needs to be the one to do some sort of challenge in the air to stop him from doing whatever he wants to do in the air, right? So your mate ideally would have went like this and then tried to like stall him, right? But the reason why your mate
yeah,
can't go is because you haven't
it,
rotated for boost. So he's like,
yeah,
oh shit, like if I go in the air right now, your positioning is so awkward that if he gets beat in the air, it's going to be super awkward for you to deal with, right? But
yeah.
if you did it like this, so like you missed this, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to rotate. And then you go here. When you position like this, it gives your mate time to turn right and immediately fast aerial into the air to cause problems with the dude in the air, which then means you can then grab this boost. And if he does get beat, you can then sweep up anything that goes underneath him. Because when your mate goes up in the air, right? When he goes up in the air, he's going to try his best to cover any kind of aerial that goes over his head and try to force the opponent to drop down. So then when you're coming around the bend and you grab that corner boost and the opponent, let's say hypothetically, does beat your mate, but he's dropping, so your mate in the air forces him to drop down, then it's easy for you to tackle a ball or challenge a ball that's descending than that's rising.
Yeah.
And that's
I
yeah, and that's how you cover both of your bases and makes it basically impossible for the opponent to score unless he pulls off like a
I
crazy
see what
shot,
you're saying. That's
right?
definitely something. I'll be honest. Rotating is definitely something I'm just. I never really bothered to learn rotations. I turned my brain off, and if you ask me what I did, what my thought process was after the play, I can tell you, but I couldn't tell you during the play.
No, no, but this is really, really important. So here,
Yeah,
you going like this means that your mate doesn't have access to jump here because if he does get beat, and if the opponent does go low, you don't have that angle. You don't have that angle to come at the ball and really get a solid challenge because the ball's still going to be over your head, which means that if your mate does go up and he does force him to descend, your positioning is so like on top of the ball that you could just get dunked. Your challenge won't be good enough,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
yeah. So here, the only issue you did here is you kind of flip as soon as an interaction is about to happen. So you flip here, which isn't
yeah.
bad because there's no interaction, but then as you're still stuck in animation, you're still stuck in animation. The 50 happens, you're just landing, and then this happens. It's like, oh. So here, I would just
I
drive. Just
I
drive.
was
Grab the,
watching
yeah,
Appjack. He said something like flipping commits you to a play, and or something like that, or
100%.
commit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
is that the idea right there?
Yeah, and here because there's no need,
Okay.
right? If you just drive the way I showed you here, just drive,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then watch this. When the 50 happens, look at this, bro. You have like all of this to do whatever you want to do, right?
Oh yeah. I could get a
So
double.
yeah,
I could do whatever. Yeah.
whatever you want, right? So you flip, which does get you a bit closer. So when an interaction happens, it's like a bit awkward. Um,
This was.
but you don't have this one's fine. You don't have a lot of boost here.
Yeah.
Here, oh, going up for this ball is risky, really risky. Uh, let me see where the other do this. I think this happens. I think here, what I would have done, just to be a bit more on the safe side, but also make the aerial just a little bit less awkward for you. Like I said, I'm not too sure if 100% this would work. The moment this happened here, right? There's 50. I would have spun like this and then do this.
Oh, and then you have an angle on that
Yes.
too.
I
Yeah.
have an angle on net, but there's something else. What else do you notice about doing this method too?
Well, you
Besides,
get height out off the wall instead of having to go from the ground. It's
true.
I
All this is true, but
don't.
there's one key thing also on top of everything that you're saying, which is all valid.
I'm not sure.
Well, when you
Uh,
go up the wall like this, so you turn, you grab boost, and you go up the wall, what can you see? You can see the last man in case he turns and goes for this ball. When you do it like this,
okay.
you're not 100% sure if the last man is going to also die for this ball, and you might get smoked to this ball, and then if you do get smoked to this ball, then it's a
It's
pretty
just an open net. Yeah.
yeah. But when you go the other method, so hold on, this happens, right? And then this happens, and you can see, right? You're like, oh shit, he's going for the ball. He's up in the air. Then you can turn away. You can turn away, wait for him to hit the ball, and then just reset and collect the ball, whatever
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
right? So not only does it make the aerial faster, but it also allows you to see if the opponent is also going for the ball too. So it just covers a lot of scenarios that could happen. Okay, try your best not to flip during an interaction. I know you have no
I'm
boost.
I'm gonna do
Right.
it like 100 more times this game.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just what I want you to do, like if you're gonna take just one piece of advice from this whole like coaching session,
Yeah.
is try to play the moment rather than obviously, well, in Rocket League you do want to like think into the future and think of like what could happen and all that kind of reading stuff. But try to just play the moment, play in the moment rather than what you need. So for example, here you have no boost, you're rotating. So naturally, in this position, you're thinking, what do I need? Well, I need to rotate and get boost. That's generally what everyone does, right? I need to rotate and get
hmm
boost. But try not to think about what you need, but just think about the moment. So what is the moment? Okay, the moment is he's going up the ball with the ball. My mate is challenging. It's not about what you need. It's not about the boost. It's not about your rotation. It's about what's happening. Okay, my mate is challenging. He's going up the wall. My mate is still, about to, turn away. Is he going to challenge? So when things are turning like quite unsure, then it means you do not flip, right? Because the moment you flip, like
hmm
Appjack said, you've committed yourself. So when your mate does challenge, then you can't turn for this ball anymore. You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that, right? So
I do.
play the moment. So play the moment will be something like this, right? So you go here, try to grab some pads, play the moment. Oh, it's something here. Yeah, you might not be confident with 24 boost to go for this ball, but what you're doing here, at the very least, is you're showing presence. Oops, sorry, that was my bad. So maybe grab a pad or two. Okay, I kind of missed the pads. And then
He
you show
doesn't just
presence.
have a free ball to go for.
Yes, and then if he goes for the ball, because ideally what he would love to do here is control the ball, right? So this dude over
hmm
here, the opponent, this happens. If you back away, right, then ideally he would love to just try to catch this ball or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're right next to him, then he doesn't have the opportunity to do that because you're just gonna
Excuse me.
dunk him.
hmm
So yeah, just try to focus on playing the moment rather than going for what you need. Okay, that's probably a big piece of advice. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, oh, okay. Do you play ones a lot or no?
I do not. I never play ones.
I think he needed to. So this is like so small, but it makes it really awkward for you. If you notice here,
hmm
like your shadow position is pretty okay here. And do you see that sharp turn? Do you see that one right there?
Yep.
That kind of screws you up a little bit. That kind of gives you that when you flicks it, it's above your head. So all he
Yeah.
needs to
So
do
it'd be
here,
better to come from the side than just
yeah, hold it like
going
this.
straight
Hold it,
over me.
hold it, hold it, and then that way it's a bit easier to deal with, isn't it? A little bit
Yeah.
easier. But that's just like some ones stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. Do you think I should invest time in playing ones?
100%. I had the coaching session myself because I'm on like GC2 trying to push for like GC3 and stuff, and he's like
Yeah.
a 2100 SSL player, and
Oh gosh.
yeah, so he's really good, and so he was also coaching me, and he just said to me basically just he basically was also stuck at like GC2, and he said he just spent like 2 months playing just ones. He goes, I played about 800 matches of ones, and I just said to myself, I'm only going to play ones. And then he improved so much in ones that when he went back to twos, he told me that within like a couple of months he got to like GC3, and then a couple of months later he hit SSL. So
Wow.
that's what he told me. So since then I have been putting a lot of work. What I will tell my students is that if you really hate ones, then at least do you know how you can multi queue on Rocket League?
Yeah.
You're right. Just select twos and ones and just start it, bro. Like, just if you get ones, you get ones. If you get twos, you get twos. Just that's what I do. Sometimes it's horrible because sometimes I get like 6 games of ones before I even get 1 game of twos. But like,
Yeah.
I just tell
One
myself I don't
tilts
care.
me.
I know, same. It tilts me too, and I'm not that great at it, to be honest.
I'm not either.
But I just grind it out. I have noticing that I have been getting a little bit better at just my general gameplay because of ones. But yeah, I would definitely suggest it, 100%.
All right.
Especially because you want to work on your mechanics too. Unfortunate. Oh, you made misses boost. This is positioning here is pretty good. I do like the positioning here. Oh, don't turn away though. Your positioning here was perfect. This is perfect, right? Perfect.
I think I got scared.
Of what?
I saw the guy turning, and I saw my teammate with the ball slightly further away from him
No, this is
than
fine.
I would like.
Even still, your positioning is fine because even if they do 50, it's still gonna spill towards somewhere towards you, right? If they do 50 here, it's gonna go this way anyway, right? But yeah, if you just held that position, I think it would have been perfect. Yeah, and then if you held that position, you would have been somewhere over there, and then the angle.
Yeah, I would have had a great angle on goal.
Yeah.
Yep.